Rob Manfred also took the opportunity to talk to, in addition to Tony Clark, he had the ability to talk to Jimmy Pitaro and Bob Iger. Bob Iger, the chairman of Disney, Jimmy Pitaro, the president of ESPN, talking about the broadcast deal, that $550 million that was opted out by MLB. You, of course, know that Rob didn't miss an opportunity to gain an opportunity to let ESPN know, thanks for the memories, but we're doing just fine. We are good to go. It was really not necessary for him to bring up, but for to have the ESPN powers that be hear the truth. Major League Baseball is negotiating with different people, different linear. We talked about this, whether it's NBC, Apple, etc., all for the purpose of getting to above 550 million. And what I love that Rob did, because it's what you do, executives ought to pay attention, under promise and over deliver. Do that in your relationship. Do that as often as you can, because the world is full of people who overpromise and underdeliver, and those people end up getting fired. Those people end up getting left behind because no one wants to be let down all the time. Under promise, over deliver. So Rob is saying, listen, we're about reach. I'm going to overweight reach when he's talking about the deals that he wants to make for the next 3 years in the absence of ESPN. We know that people who say we are overweighting reach, those are like the NBA owners who did over-the-air deals for their teams when the RSN went bankrupt. And they said, but wait a minute, we are now in front of 5 million more people in our market. Isn't this great? And we told you on Nothing Personal. That's really sweet to say that you care about reach. The fact is that you didn't have any better deal financially from the network, the regional network. So in the absence of money, you say, we love you, fans. We want to get our product to as many people as possible. By Rob saying that he would overweight reach when he talks about these next deals, there are people who will say, well, that's preparing everybody for a deal that's less than $550 million. Yeah, we were sorry that happened with ESPN. We set up new deals and it may look like less, but man, oh man, did we get reach. Wait till they sign the deals that are for more than 550 and more reach. That is the type of game that MLB is playing here, because it's the right to ESPN. Just you wait. Just you wait. Rob's gotten a bunch of credit and a bunch of issues for the Pete Rose situation. You heard it here on Nothing Personal when Rob Manfred brought Pete Rose off the permanently ineligible list, and did it by taking all the dead people off the list, saying, once you're dead, you can't hurt the game. You cannot impact the game. So therefore, you should be off the permanently ineligible list. Permanent means the end of life. Now, our criminal justice system will give you 4 consecutive life sentences for killing 4 people, so that every family gets to feel as though, yeah, this guy got or girl or person got a life sentence for killing my family member. Of course, we all know that consecutive life sentences. Coca, I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm not taking a break. I was just reminded of something. Did you read where a guy who was sentenced to life in prison died, but then was revived and wants to convince the court that because he died for those few minutes, that therefore he has served his sentence, which was life, and now he should be out of prison? I thought that was a brilliant move by Saul. I assume that was his lawyer, Odenkirk. I'm not positive, but I thought it was fantastic. Maybe we need to codify language that says end of a life sentence happens upon being actually put into the ground or cremated, not dying on the operating table. And so these baseball players who are now back to being eligible, Rob Manfred came out and was honest, and he's gotten criticized for it, and he shouldn't be. He was honest, saying, yeah, obviously President Trump was a factor in that. I understood what the president wanted, and why wouldn't I pay attention to that? And it is driving me crazy that people are critical of that. You may disagree with the president, as I do in many things. You may agree with the president, as I do in many things. But the president is the president. The president has power, whether he deserves it, whether he doesn't, whether he basically misuses it or doesn't. Whether he stands for things that make you feel so sick and bothered that you vow to do anything possible to never have someone like that as president again, doesn't matter. The fact is that as a business, as a multi-billion-dollar business, the reality is you deal with Washington, D.C. This has nothing to do with Trump or Biden or Obama or Clinton or Kennedy. Go all the way back, Jack, since the beginning of the industrial age. You can go back further if you want. Dealing with political power is real and necessary, and people should not be critical of it. If the president of the United States calls your business and says, hey, do me a favor, could you implement another sales strategy where you are manufacturing a certain type of ladder and you're in the ladder business? You don't think you're going to take that into account? You bet your sweet bippy you are. You have to. So I do not in any way think that he was wrong for both doing it and admitting it. He is a businessman. He was asked